Hi ladies, welcome to my channel. I hope today everybody's having a fantastic day. Alright, so in front of you we do have the string of beads sliding bracelet. Now this is a beautiful bracelet. I absolutely love it. Now before I get started, I'm going to tell you guys a little story of how I was able to get this bracelet. Now this is a replacement bracelet, as I did buy a bracelet secondhand off of my favorite used site, which is Garage Sale. Now, when I purchased this and I brought it home, I noticed that one bead was actually missing, and it was the bead next to the center bead. Now, I don't know how this happened. I don't know, because usually sterling silver beads don't really break. I mean, you'd have to do something pretty rough in order to break that bead. But what I decided to do is I kindly contacted the seller and I asked them when they actually bought it. Now, I was lucky because it was about 10 months that she owned it. So if you have a damaged bracelet or a damaged piece of jewelry and you want to have an exchange done, it needs to be under a year. So I asked her, first of all, if she could send me a copy of her purchase order from online. And she kindly did so. But you do have to ask the seller, because they may remember or forget, is that you do have to tell them to block out the payment, not the payment type, but the actual account information. You don't want to receive that, okay? You want to make sure that they remember to put a doodle on it or to black it out. And what I did is I got on the phone with Pandora, and sadly they didn't have it in stock. So I was kind of left between a rock and a hard place. So I said, would I be able to actually exchange it at one of my local stores? And she said she wouldn't see why not. So the next day I called a store that sells Pandora, not the actual Pandora store, because they were actually out of stock as well. They didn't have the size 9, which I had bought the size 7.5, but I asked them if I could exchange it for a larger size, and there was no problem. So I brought the bracelet to the store at Hillside, and all I had to show the sales associate was the purchase order from the seller. And they simply just looked at it and they exchanged it. So it was problem-free. But again, you can't do that unless you have the purchase information from the seller. So I was very lucky. So ladies, if you do buy used or secondhand charm and the purchase was done under a year, just ask them kindly for that information. And if the seller's a little bit iffy about giving that kind of information, like you can't really do much with your address, to be honest, that's not really a problem. The problem is the account information. But again, if they block that out, there's nothing to worry about. Or what you can do is call the store and tell them that the seller will be calling in to provide them with that information. Okay? Well, now we can get started. Now, I've had this for a couple of months now, and I adore it. I used to actually do mala beads and stone bead bracelets. So this was a nice little trade up from the beads. Now, they do sell this one in sterling silver and in rose gold. It comes in 2 sizes, 23 centimeters and 25 centimeters. Like I said, the 23 centimeters did not fit. I actually could not put the bracelet around my wrist. without really squeezing and stretching it. And I was really worried that I was going to snap it, because I usually wear 7.5. So the 9 inches worked really well. If you wear a larger bracelet, it might be more difficult. So you really need to go to the store and make sure that you try it on, so that you don't buy it online. Well, I mean, hey, if you buy it online, you can always return it. It's super easy to return. Now, the center bead is 11 millimeters, and then we have an 8 millimeter bead, then a 5 millimeter bead, and then there are, I believe, 8 3 millimeter beads. All right. Again, the pros of this bracelet is that it's beautiful. It has various sized beads, like a graduated bead style. The dangling beads at the end are super cute. And I love how it just dangles, how light it is when it dangles on the bottom of your wrist. The slider ball is, with a silicone, is a better option than the lobster clasp, because not everybody can use the actual lobster clasp. You have to have a very specific nail length. If you have artificial long nails, it's going to be hard. If you have no nails, it would be hard. So the ball was a great addition to this bracelet. Now, it's minimalist, simple, and dainty. All right, now there are a few cons to this bracelet, okay? Number one, the size. I do wish they would have made one size that's larger than 25 centimeters, but I can understand why they stuck to these two sizes, because if you actually had a longer or a larger size, then the ends here, these things, would dangle way too long. Okay, so I understand why they did that. Now, this little bead here, okay, it's blank on one side, and on the other, you've got the Pandora. Okay, now, when I have to put this on, or when I want to wear it, I actually have to pull or push the ball all the way to the end. Okay, now when you do that, and I have no nails, and it's a very stiff bead, or the silicone, because I'm very gentle with it, so it hasn't really stretched much in a couple of months. Now this is what I have to do when I put it on, and I have like I said, I wear 7.5. So it's very difficult to actually grasp these little teeny beads. Okay. So you sometimes, excuse me for having it come in and out of focus. Again, you just have to grab it and just press. Okay. And then you have a length to work with. Now, along with that is that, I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of hard to translate on camera. Can you see how it gets a little bit twisted with the chain? Now that will happen. Okay, so what you have to do is, when you store this bracelet, don't bunch it up. Okay, and just like throw it in a square, like one of these like jewelry squares or jewelry trays. Okay, it's preferable to store it hanging. Like, if you can find a way, ladies, to actually store these or hang them, okay, it'll be better on the chain. But again, I haven't really figured that out yet. I'm going to have to think more on that one, because finding the appropriate material to do that with is difficult, especially a product that won't off gas. Because even if it's paper, like, you'd have to get like almost like archival cardboard, or so I haven't really figured that out yet. One of these days I'll figure something out and I'll share it with you guys. Okay. And as well is that when it twists, because you do have these little loops here, right? Now try to keep it as straight as possible. Sometimes what you have to do is you just like put the bead in and then twist it. You know, do you know what I mean? Like, for example, if I do this, I'll put the bead inside to just flip it. There we go. Got it? See? And I made it more twisted. So again, you really got to be careful with this type of bracelet. Okay, and do not pull too hard, because I heard a lot of people complaining that this snapped, the little end loop. Okay, I love this bracelet, and I wish Pandora, well, if they come out with a version 2.0 of this bracelet, it would be awesome, because this detail here needs to be a little bit more evolved, or a different chain type. I know they used this type of chain because of the silicone inside this bead. Or maybe the next version they could give us all beads and maybe change this, because it's a beautiful bracelet. I saw one that came out and it had like a pave ball. That's a really pretty bracelet, but I don't do, I'm not a fan of the pave bead. But this would be beautiful if they would just continue the 3mm beads all the way. It would be amazing. So here's to hoping. I really wish that they do that. And if you notice, there is space between the beads. Okay, they're not really tight, and that's a good thing. It's so they can slide a little bit. Okay, because if they were tight, you'd scratch all of these beads. And do keep this away from water. If you wash your hands, take your bracelet off, or don't wear your bracelet if you're gonna do things like I don't know, like for example, I go outside, take out the dog, I touch all the doorknobs and stuff, and when I come back in, I wash my hands, so it's a good idea not to wear it before I, take the dog out. It's a silly example, but it's a realistic example. Now, what I find as well is that with this bracelet, you can wear it simply on its own. It's really beautiful if you're a minimalist or you're wearing a very sexy, simple outfit. This is a perfect bracelet to wear. And also, I wanted to show you or talk to you about the string of beads charm. Now, it is a dangle charm, and it does retail for $55. Now, this string of beads also looks fantastic on the O pendant. So all the little noises you're hearing right now is me just grabbing my O pendant and putting the string of beads charm on it so I can show it to you. Okay, first I'm just going to back up this bracelet. Okay. And here we do have the string of beads charm. Now this is super pretty, and it's a perfect match to the bracelet because the beads on the string of beads, the first bead, which goes on the O charm or the bracelet, is an 8mm. Okay, now that is larger than this one. Now this one here is a 5mm sterling silver bead, and this is a 5mm. Okay, so they go together. And then we have the 4mm, which is this one. Okay, and that's this one. So again, it's the perfect pairing. And the chain as well is the same. The chain here is the same as this one. Now I'm going to show you a closer look of the charm, if I can, because I like how it's made, because we do have the large bead at the top, we have the medium, and then we have this little chain. Now the little chain, you can wear it this side, having the chain in front, but I prefer to actually have the chain at the back. Okay, so on skin, you will see the bead kind of go around the middle bead. Okay, but I absolutely adore this bead. Because like I said, I used to do beading, and with carpal tunnel, I had to stop. Well, actually, I was doing beading, I was doing sanding, painting, and a lot of those hobbies, unfortunately, I had to put a stop to it. Because it's a hand workout as well as threading on charms, on and off, etc., etc. Okay, so that's my review of this little pairing. I absolutely love those two pieces. They are awesome. And I strongly recommend them. But again, too, the string of beads charm does not, it only comes in sterling silver. So you don't have the rose gold option, which I do hope eventually they'll come up with the rose gold. But if you do like to mix your metals, you can do so. And how you do that would be by wearing the string of beads sliding bracelet in rose gold, okay? The sterling silver string of beads charm, but instead of a sterling silver pendant, you can try the rose gold. And the rose gold I cannot show you right now because it is in use somewhere. Oh, no, it's not. Well, actually, it's kind of is in use. What I did is I actually put the ghost on here. So I'll take that off. And what I'll do is I'll remove this one. And put it on the rose gold to give you guys an idea how pretty it is. Okay. Now imagine if this one was rose gold. Can I get a, oh my god, that would be absolutely stunning. All right, ladies. So I do believe both of these pieces are still in stock because I was looking at the catalog earlier just to get the retail information on it, and it was still there along with the string of beads charm. Okay, but the string of beads charm, if you look at the catalog, they actually snuck it in the bottom as an individual charm. And what I can do is tell you which page that it's on. If I can find it quickly. There we go. It is on page 54 at the bottom of the Pandora Something About You Spring/Summer 2020. Okay, that's the catalog that that's on where you can find it on page 54. All right. Oh, did I say the right page number? I said 54, but I have a feeling I gave you the wrong. No, it's on page 54. All right, ladies. So like I said, keep these guys out of water. okay, are out of humidity, store with silica packets or silica bags. Because the bracelet that I had bought from the seller off of a garage sale, there was black in between all the beads. Okay, and cleaning that, my dears, is super difficult. Okay, because with a polishing cloth, like getting between these beads, you might accidentally break the bracelet. Okay, like I'm serious about this. Okay, so these the little edges. Okay, you want to keep that silver. So again, and watch the exposure to air as well. Okay, a lot of people think it's just water or humidity that causes tarnishing, but it's not. Okay, there's a lot of components in the air that actually attack the sterling silver. So that's why the silica bags and putting it in poly bags, and that's why they say try to squeeze out as much air as possible. Okay, because if you leave your poly bag and it's like there's a lot of air in there, it's kind of useless. All right, so you actually need to try to take out as much air as possible. But again, it's going to be difficult to figure out because, like I said, I want you guys to store this hanging, okay, not bunched up, because like I said, every sterling silver chain out there has memory. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's what kind of chain it is. You can try do an experiment by I mean everybody has like an old chain that's been used many times, and if you say, for example, bunch it up and leave it there for about a couple of months, and then go back to your jewelry and straighten it, and you'll see that it actually has memory, that it's very hard to get it straight, you know. That's why these charms here, or not charms, but the chain, like I said, I can try to flatten it, but there's like little, see what I mean? Like it's not perfectly straight. And that's by squeezing it and pinching it with this little ball here. Okay, so if you do buy it, like I said, just take care of it. If you treat it nice, it'll last longer. All right. If you like this video, ladies, click like. If you wish to subscribe, please do so. I would absolutely adore it. And if you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to ask. Okay. There's no silly question out there. I have pretty much heard it all and seen it all. Like I said, yeah. So I hope you guys have a great day. And I also wanted to mention that I made a lot of purchases. Again. Oh dear. So I'm gonna get some packages within the next month. I did purchase the 2 clips from the 20th anniversary celebration. And I actually purchased 2 pink jewelry boxes. Now these jewelry boxes, they don't have them in Canada. I bought them actually in New Zealand. It's pretty much exclusive to there. Then I also had my brother-in-law go and buy me a charm because it was out of stock everywhere. It was the rose gold mushroom. So that's making its way here right now. And then today I was given a little bit of an exclusive, a 24-hour head start to purchase some of the new Star Wars pieces. So I did buy Darth Vader, and I bought R2-D2. So I can't wait to get all this jewelry. And what I'm going to do, and I promise, I will not open it. Okay, I will only open it on video and then share it with you right away. I don't know if anybody's interested in doing the live videos, but that's something I might consider. All right, enough babble from me. Have a nice day, Pandora ladies or Pandora hotties. Bye-bye.